Hey yo, what's up everybody? I don't usually do should you pull videos on a character's debut banner, but in this case, I feel like it just needs to happen. So here we are. Based on the polls, I know a lot of you guys have been waiting on this character. And as we see, with her design, her kit, and potential future relevance, Chisa was well worth the wait. Because this is probably the most important character to pull since Shorekeeper in patch 1.3. So I'd advise you to take this opportunity and scoop up this character right now. Don't get cold feet now that your girl is here. In this video, I'm gonna tell you why you should probably look into getting this character before her banner is gone. I'm not gonna say there aren't any cons at this moment, but the pros definitely outweigh the cons. So let's get it. Despite the entire unabridged romance novel quantity of text you see in her skill descriptions, this character is super simple and easy to use, especially for all that she does. And she does a lot. She heals, shields, she does crowd control, and she does negative status effects, among other things. An application of these status effects are really simple to do. So simple that all you need to do is cast her resonant skill. But it actually gets even more simple than that. Just simply locking onto a target can also cast the effect. So you don't have to worry too much about figuring out how to use her, because it's pretty easy. You'll probably just use her correctly on accident. She has a chainsaw. I know that doesn't fit into what I was talking about just now, but it's worth mentioning. It adds to her cool factor. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. Negative status effects. Outside of healing and shielding, which will always be relevant, I think her unique longevity will come from negative status team comps. Based on how Kuro has been moving lately, negative status effects are almost certain to play an important role in future combat. They've actually taken the time to rework all the negative status effects that have yet to be released. Almost 1 year ago, I made a video talking about statuses, elements, and reactions, just like we're seeing with Havoc Bane. Havoc Bane is an effect that can work with all the other elemental attributes. And doing something like this makes the game that much better. And in that video, I talked about niching down characters like this slows down the inevitable increasing power of characters over time, aka power creep. Chisa helps characters deal negative status effects no matter which attribute they belong to. So how does she help? Well, she increases the max cap of the status effects being cast. In addition, her status effect, Havoc Bane, debuffs the enemy by lowering their defense. She herself lowers the enemy's defense on top of Havoc Bane, meaning that she heals the team, she shields the team, provides multiple defense debuffs, all while being a super easy to use character. Now I gotta say this. Keep in mind, these debuffs are only applicable by characters who cast negative status effects. So this doesn't work with all characters, but the point is, it isn't tied to just one character or one attribute. I can't overemphasize the fact that Kuro Games deciding to rework all these negative status effects means something is coming. What I think we're going to see is more and more characters with negative status effects in their kit, and possibly even bosses and mobs that require certain elements and status effects in order for you to deal considerable damage to them. Currently, we only have 2 teams with characters with negative status effects, and those characters are primarily exclusively used in those teams. However, when more varieties of these types of characters drop with various attributes, you're gonna hope and wish you have Chisa on that team. Another pro to having this character is her story relevance. Now, I know not everybody cares about this, but it does feel good when a character you enjoy playing, a character whose backstories you've read in their entirety, you've listened to every voice line, you just enjoy playing them. Well, you also enjoy when you finally get to see them on the screen in a major part of the story. It just feels good. Of course, Chisa is featured on the banner of this patch, so she's currently in the main story. And if you haven't done it yet, no spoilers here, but the way the story ends lets you know that her story is not yet complete. Wherever the story takes us in 3.0, it's almost certain to have her a part of it. Outside of all of this, the last interesting piece of the puzzle is just how cool this character looks. I dig it, man. The fact that she's the only Japanese character so far makes this character feel so much more close to me. The Tokyo-like atmosphere of this area, the English VAs in the quest using a Japanese English accent, it was just a nice touch. And I haven't talked about this before, but Kuro does this quite a bit with the Italian accents for Augusta and Zani, or the Chinese accents for Buling and Choyan. They do all of this without it feeling cheap, offensive, or stereotypical. It just feels like a person living their lives in whatever situation they're in at the time. It's difficult to put it into words, but I really enjoy it. Also, before moving on, if you're enjoying this video, please hit me with a like and a sub. It really does help me to continue bringing you awesome videos just like this one. So when it comes to the cons, there's not many cons. While some may argue for their favorite character as being perfect, there truly is no perfect character. They all have their downsides, and it's designed that way. No character is really designed for all situations. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the cons. Chisa is a character that can slot into a number of teams, and while she can still be useful in those teams, she can only really use her full kit and full debuffing abilities in teams where other characters use negative status effects, and there aren't really that many teams like that right now. And in those teams, she's more of a side grade than an upgrade. Simply put, her teams aren't here yet. While I don't always get knocked out of her chainsaw attack, it's an attack with quite a long windup and a lengthy execution, and being interrupted is bound to happen more than you'd probably like. And whenever it happens, it's not too fun. The solution to this problem is simple. It's hidden behind Sequence Node 1. On the bright side, her S1 does offer some other perks, but still, unless you're a whale or you just have coral lying around, this is something that might bother you. So it's something to think about. And another thing, 3.0 is coming. And with 3.0 is even more potentially cool and unique characters. And I don't know if I can actually call this a con, because if you listen to this video, you'll probably get Chisa anyway, preparing you for said cool characters. But either way, it's always a question if it's worth it to blow through your stash of premium currency just before a major version update. There aren't really many bad things I can say about this character. I think she'll be one of those characters that is pretty much future-proof, or at least for a good while. And on the tiny percent chance negative statuses aren't meta, her role is still a support. These are characters that tend to be relevant for a long time in general, because unless you're a Donjin main, you're gonna need someone to help you stay alive. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. Do you agree with these takes? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And until next time, I'll catch you in the waves. Peace.